Chris Stuckmann's Shelby Oaks, the debut feature film from fellow YouTuber, film reviewer person, Chris Stuckmann. This one's interesting because if you don't know, Shelby Oaks was a Kickstarter project started by this film reviewer person like 4 or 5 years ago. I've actually been a regular watcher and subscriber to Chris Stuckmann on a different YouTube account for I don't even know how long, like since I was in high school, which was over 11 years ago. And he just seemed like a genuine dude who reviewed movies, and he also had these hilariosity videos he would do that were highlights for me. So I've been following this guy for a long time, literally. See, that's me right there. When he unveiled the Kickstarter to fundraise his first feature film, I felt like I wanted to support him. So I chipped in some money, enough to get me the Blu-ray when it comes out. I actually received a couple of movie posters in the mail recently from the Kickstarter, which was pretty cool. But I didn't think it was going to be 4 long years until the movie came out. But here it is. After Mike Flanagan joined and being picked up by Neon Studios in theaters nationwide. It's kind of surreal in a way. Anyway, enough of that. What did I think of the movie, you ask? It was not bad. It was okay. I think you can see some influences from other horror films like Lake Mungo, Blair Witch Project, and even Mike Flanagan's own films. Maybe some Hereditary too. So there's this cold opening to the movie. Feels like it was at least 10 minutes long. I don't know exactly how long, but felt pretty long to me. It was this documentary style, and then it switches gears to a more conventional movie style. You know, like how you expect a movie to look, right? For me, that intro was too long. I felt like I was getting more into the movie when it actually switched from that documentary style. I did read from quite a few people that they actually preferred that documentary style intro over the rest of the film, and that the whole movie should have been in a documentary format. I actually kind of agree with that sentiment. Like just going all in on this documentary style and swing for the fences, right? The problem for me was that I wasn't really buying the documentary aspect as believable. To me, I think you need fantastic acting and writing to pull off that realistic dialogue you would see in a non-fictional documentary. And some of the acting during that intro was good, like from the lead actress, Camille Sullivan, and from Michael Beach. But I don't know. Maybe it was the writing. I'm not sure, but it just didn't feel real enough for it to work as a documentary, in my opinion. So I actually think the acting and writing were working better when it switched to a more conventional movie. Although after a while, I did feel like the movie was taking quite a bit of time to get going. I almost want to say that the story felt like it was meandering. Like the main character was doing that online researching Google stuff and visiting the library to learn more about this supernatural element. That stuff that you see in other horror movies, right? I think it was the last act of the film, where things finally felt like they were escalating, but then it was over. It felt like that final part of the film would have happened earlier in another movie. Then from there, the rest of the movie would be a constant escalation. So to me, it felt like most of the movie was the protagonist just researching things and slowly walking around creepy hallways a lot. Then the final part happens and then it's over. I do think that they did a good job on a lot of the horror elements to make them genuinely creepy and tense. Yeah, I think there were a few scenes that were very tense, and the Stuckmannizer got one good scare out of me. I jumped in my seat and I made a little poopy. just a little. The cinematography I thought was pretty good too, for the most part. It didn't have that straight to streaming, low budget look. The acting was pretty alright too, particularly the lead, Camille Sullivan. She was convincing as his character, and I think she needs to be in more stuff. Although, there was too much breathing. She was either crying, screaming, or breathing. I know she's supposed to be in like distress and it's a dark story, but whenever she was squared, she was doing this breathing thing, like, and she was scared for like 82% of the film, so too much breathing. Not entirely her fault, and I mean, she was good, but the less breathing, the better. I don't like breathing in my movies. The legendary Keith David briefly shows up too, and of course, he never phones in a performance. Also, that deep, smooth, velvety voice of his is a massage on my senses, like a masseuse going to town on my earlobes. It's pretty cool Chris Stuckman was able to get him in this movie. But yeah, I think it was an okay movie, but I felt like I was waiting around for a while for something to happen in the story to get it moving. And when it did, it was over fairly quickly. Soundtrack was pretty good too. Don't really got any notes on that. I am interested to see what movie Chris Stuckman does next. Whether it's another horror film or maybe a drama, or I think making a thriller would be right up his ass. I mean, alley. I think he's got promise and I'm rooting for him. I'll also keep following him wherever he goes.